So, Amanda, how's the experience here in Consensus so far?
I just arrived. It's been amazing. Everyone's here in Hong Kong, which is wonderful. I've been spending a lot of time here over the past few months growing serotonin in Asia, and it's nice to have the whole crypto community all descend here all at once.
Now, let's dive into the Web3 aspect directly.
Is there some aspect other than the Web3 aspect? Is there some other thing?
They say marketing for Web3 is totally different than what it is for Web2 companies. Could you just shed some light on how it is different?
Yeah, so marketing is the practice of making things happen. So when we talk to projects and founders, we ask them, what do you want to happen? And how is that different from what's happening right now? And we start with the what, and then we figure out the how. We figure out which marketing channels we want to use to reach which audiences, but we really start with what do you want to happen? We think of a lot of our job as taking breakthrough technologies and figuring out how to connect them with audiences that would use them if only they knew about them. So there's a bit of a matching exercise going on. And I think that is really common as a protocol across Web2 and Web3. There's a common marketing protocol, which is figure out what your product is, how you want to talk about it, figure out who your audience is, what channels they live on, and then figure out how you're going to connect the two together. Then you measure how that's going, you tweak, you A/B test until you're able to get the result you want. It's kind of like a scientific method assay, a trial. You're testing a hypothesis that this audience would use this product if only they knew about it. That's really how we think about it. That's a completely common protocol across Web2 marketing, Web3 marketing. But in Web3, it's often a very specific audience. It's a group of people that have memories. They have a history. There are specific channels that they pay attention to. There are specific memes that really resonate with them as part of an in-group. And knowing that culture is almost like speaking a certain type of slang. And that's something that we, as crypto natives at Serotonin, working in the space since 2015, have really learned to master so that we really understand this community and this audience and how to reach them.
Okay, now there are Web3 startups who are trying to do everything all by themselves. They are trying to build the product all by themselves. They are running marketing campaigns all by themselves, and they're absolutely not taking up any external help. However, at one point when they think about taking external help, what are the points they should look for? Do you have any advice for those startups or any tips for them?
Yeah, so a lot of projects that look like they have no marketing or never had marketing actually do. I compare this to the no makeup look. For people who don't know what that is, there's a makeup look where you put on makeup, but in order to look like you're not wearing any makeup. And I think for a lot of projects, the best crypto marketing wears the no makeup look. It shouldn't look or feel like it's advertising to you. It should simply feel like it has the message about something that you want and something that you would be interested in checking out now that you've discovered it for the first time. If you're not coding, if you're not trading, what you're doing is marketing. And so you can call it operations, you can call it comms. If you don't like the word marketing, you can name that function something else, but you're doing it regardless. So projects are doing this from day one, even if they don't think of themselves as doing it. The question of whether to work with internal team or whether to hire a marketing agency like Serotonin is very project and team specific. If you look at the largest scaled tech companies in the world, if you look at Apple, if you look at Microsoft, those companies employ external agencies still for all kinds of different functions, for things like growth marketing, for things like PR, for branding, for visual campaigns. And so you can see that even the best resource players in the market come to agencies for certain functions. And so agencies will always be around to do certain things. What we tend to recommend to teams is the moment that you figure out what product you want to launch and what audience that you're launching it to, you should have someone thinking about how you're going to actually get it to them. Again, you can call that person marketing, you can call them comms, you can call them operations, but someone needs to be focused on thinking about that. And once a function becomes a consistent function, like we're always doing blog posts, we're always tweeting on X, we're always writing reports. Once a function becomes continuous, you should consider hiring someone to do that function. And for all functions that are only occasional, like writing a press release, like writing a blog post if you do it only occasionally, like running a growth campaign. Those are the kinds of things that you really should always use externals for instead of keeping someone continually on payroll.
So Serotonin is now looking to expand into the APAC market, and I've been reading about it. Could you just, kind of expand on it and tell us some more details about it?
Yeah, so we started the company in the U.S. I've lived in New York, Puerto Rico, basically the East Coast of the U.S. for the past 15 years. I'd worked at Consensus, helped bring Ethereum to market there, and so a lot of our network was really California, New York, and a lot of the first companies we worked with were really part of that ecosystem. Now that Serotonin's 4 years old, we also have a large team in Europe. There's a lot of really great, especially DeFi projects that have been coming out of Europe the last few years, and we're proud to have a really robust team there. The market that was missing for us was Asia. And so many marketing tactics and strategies, like the KOL phenomenon, have really come out of Asia. And the various APAC markets have become really large markets for crypto projects. You can't launch a serious crypto project without having a strategy for entering each of the major markets in Asia. And similarly, a lot of the best new projects are actually coming out of Asia. So we realized we needed to have a team here. We quickly learned, Asia is far from a monolith. Each of these markets is really different. And so now we have a team of about 10. Serotonin's just over 100 people, so it's still a little bit of a startup within Serotonin, but we're doing two things. We're working with local projects, whether those come from the Mandarin-speaking market, whether they're from Hong Kong or Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, Korea, whether they're coming out of that market with local product market fit and need to go global, go to the world, or whether it's a project coming from the US or Europe that wants to get into India, that wants to get into Japan, we can now work with them on that. So it's really bi-directional.
That's actually brilliant. Okay, do you have anything else to add on to this whole interview? Anything, in specific that you want our viewers to know about Serotonin?
Yeah, I think one of the things that makes us special at Serotonin is that we're mission-driven about growing the decentralized Web3. We're people that have been working together in this space for almost a decade. We really share the values of building an open, permissionless, fair economy with the same rules for everyone. We don't take on every project. We're really discerning. We really exercise our judgment about what we want to help bring into the world. And if your project that you're working on shares those same values and is building something important that changes the future in that direction, we want to help you accelerate getting that vision out to people.